There, it's recording. What do you mean?
Hello? Welcome to everybody. Thanks for coming. First of all, a very big Yasher Koyach to, well, actually before that, a very, very big Yasher Koyach to Rabbi Zev Klein for spearheading this effort of making a siyum hashas, nishmas Rabbeinu Twersky, obviously a Yasher Koyach to all the people that participated in the limud. A big Yasher Koyach to the Rebbetzin and her mishpacha for the encouragement, the support, the enthusiasm behind the project and undertaking. And thank you to everybody for coming and for being mishtateif in this very, very important ma'amid. B'shus all the Talmidei Chachamim, Rabbanim that are here. I have a feeling that the Rebbetzin and her mishpacha think that we the Talmidim are doing a taiva, for them, because we're making this ma'amid as close to the yurtzeit as Messiah. I'll diverge for just a second that today Yehoshua Gabbai made a kiddush for his daughter, and we both shared a sentiment. There was a shared sentiment. Because many people had this feeling that the first yurtzeit came out on a Shabbos, where you can't have bechiyos, you can't have a spadin. Ki'ilu Rabbi was sending us a message, without getting weiter. And after all the difficulty and pain, but the cook, the long view, what we have to be focused on is how we can go further in our avodas Hashem. So like I said, I have a feeling that probably the Rebbetzin and the Mishpacha thinks that we're doing them a taiva, but the truth is, at least my hargash, and I think I speak on behalf of most of us here, if not all of us, that it's adrabah, that for us, the fact that the Mishpacha tells to so much to what the Talmidim are doing, at least on a personal level, and again, I believe I speak for most of us, is a tremendous chizuk. I've spoken to numerous Talmidim who say that to hear the Rebbetzin or children or other members of the Mishpacha speak in general is a tremendous, tremendous chizuk. So we offer them a very big Yasher Koyach and thank you. This is a unique event. Probably, if I had to encapsulate in one word, to be magdir, the one word that probably would be magdir best would be the word bittersweet. Because on the one hand, the obvious part is that Rebbe's not here. So it's bitter. But on the other hand, it's a tremendous simcha. It's a siyum hashas. It's a reason to have a very big simcha. The accomplishment in general, that as a group we managed to complete Shas, or we will complete Shas in just a moment, well, maybe more than just a moment. And bifrat, that we have the schos to be able to do it, or to have done it, are doing it, leilu nishmas, our Rebbe. And to be able to give him the nachas ruach, at least we hope. I think it's fair enough to say that it does. That we're able to do this. Over the course of this past year, Rebbe's hashpah has been felt in numerous ways. I made a list that is almost, not really off the cuff, but almost off the cuff. of things that have occurred or are occurring over this past year directly as a result of Rebbe's hashpah. There's a kollel called Zichron Moshe in Lakewood. There's a kollel called Yismach Moshe. There's a Nias in Kiryat Sefer. There's an almost always weekly email of Divrei Torah from Rabbi Zev Klein, an upcoming biography. I heard, I don't know if it's still going on, that there was a Friday Seder in Brisk. There was a siyum Shas already last Adar. Kollel Dvar Yosef of the yeshiva was adopted, quote unquote, by America's Torah team of Baltimore, Maryland. There was a Ksiva Sefer Torah, which Emir Hashem soon is going to be completed. There's potential, there's been discussions about Kollel Vayigdal Moshe opening up in Ramat Beit Shemesh Gimel. I was told, Rav Twersky is not here right now to tell me whether it's true or not, but I was told that a friend of his came over to him and said that he had a Yom Nairoyim experience that he never had in his whole life, because he saw some of the things that were quoted B'Shem Rebbe in the Kuntris that Rav Feld put together for Avrami's Chasadim. And then in addition to that, someone, I still am not sure who it is, he emailed me telling me that, and it's probably going on as we're sitting here, that this Shabbos, what for them in America, in Cedarhurst, is still Shabbos, they're making a special Azkara, I guess it's a Sephardi shul, I don't know, for Rebbe. He wanted me to send some information, etc. I don't have that email printed out right now. There's another email, someone wrote me, "Hi, as a result of Rebbe's influence, I am planning on making a siyum along with some divrei zikaron, Yeshiva Gdolah, 5 towns Shabbos, Mil Leilui Nishmas, together with the other Kedoshim, on the Sefta Sukkah for his yard site. I am currently in Yeshiva Gdolah of the 5 towns, where we are learning Bava and Siyum, the Sefta that Rav Twersky was doing when he was murdered. It is because of the opportunities that I had while I was in Teres Moshe to ask the Rebbe about his mahalchim and those sugyas that is now helping me go back and learn them more deeply with a deeper appreciation of where the Rebbe was coming from. I would also like to add that I got a lot of chizuk over the summer from the purple Zichron Rav Twersky countries. That's the one that Rabbi Yehoshua Berman and I think Avi Lowenstein and Matis Feld were also involved in. That was given out by the first Siyum Shas. The emails have been very, very gishmak, especially over the Moyadim. The lesson and memories I have of the Rebbe have been a consistent source of inspiration and aspiration for me. Aspiration means she'ifos, as I'm sure is the case with his other Talmidim, many of whom are or were here at YG5T, who I was able to steig from because of the Rebbe's influence on them. Actually, as Providence, Hashgacha would have it, the window that I sit next to in the new YG5T base medrash is dedicated to Zichroi, as well as to the other Kedoshim. I hope that was helpful. And then there was another one, a lot of you already read or heard about this one. Reb Daniel Sinowitz forwarded this to me. A good yard. Hope you're well and that you had an easy, meaningful, and uplifting Yom Kippur. I was wondering if you would be able to pass on a message to the Twersky family, perhaps if you see her B'Shalom over Yom Tiv or even after. Last night in our shul in Queens, we held a Seder Limud about an hour after Yom Kippur. It was not exactly like Rav Twersky held in his yeshiva. As a concession to reality, we gave guys an opportunity to go home and eat. But it was certainly inspired by him. We, Baruch Hashem, had about 50 guys, almost all regular balabatim, in parentheses, some with all the hidurim, so to speak, end parentheses, and only a handful of alumni who came out to sit and learn, in parentheses. We didn't tell them it was a Tomo thing, so that there would be less excuses not to come, ... end parentheses. Needless to say, guys were very happy they came, and they and their families gained much from the experience. Those Talmidim who were there all agreed that Rav Twersky would have had nachas, and as the organizer, I had in mind that the limudim should be leilui nishmas. If you could pass this on to the family, I thought it might give them chizuk that Rav Moshe is still being mashpia, even on people in a tiny shul in Queens, New York, who never even met him. Have a good Ben Shtiar and a great Yom Tov. So, yeah, there are big things that are going on, that have happened, are happening. I can only imagine how many things are happening that we don't know about, because people don't necessarily think that someone would be interested to know that, oh, that was because of something I once heard or saw, or a Talmud said. Tonight's Maimid, and all the learning that led up to it, is perhaps one of the biggest things that has happened, hopefully is happening, as we'll hear more about later, because it represents a long-term determined, consistent effort towards the Muslim of having a shaykhis to Kol HaTorah Kula, which, as we all know, was very near and dear to Rebbe's heart. The concept of having a shaykhis to Kol HaTorah Kula, and having that as a real she'ifa. And it was done by the Rabbin. We're here as a Rabbin, not as something that was done by a Yachid, but as a Rabbin. We're incredibly fortunate to have been taught and influenced by Rebbe during his lifetime. We are incredibly fortunate, despite the pain of the loss, despite the acute pain of the loss, to be able to grab hold of the tremendous chusim that Rebbe's continued hashpah affords us. There's a Stei Chemed. I would not remember it by heart, so I printed it out. The print is not so clear, so bear with me. The Stei Chemed writes as follows: a mitzvah that is done by many people in partnership. Every single yachid, every single individual within that group gets rewarded as if he did the entire thing by himself. For this reason, that is why it is very widespread in Klal Yisrael to have a chevras shas, a group limud of shas. It's split up amongst many people. Every single person takes one mesechta, or in our case, a part of the mesechta. And they make a siyum on all of Shas once a year. Vishuras hadin noisenis. Me'ikar hadin mamish, he says. It's not, a nice Indian. Shuras hadin. She'yitol kol echad schar toiv ki ilu lomad kol hashas kula. That every single person gets the schar as if he learned the entire Shas. That's what the Stei Chemed writes. And it's a good idea to know in this context. At this point, it's our honor to ask one of the Rebbeim of the Yeshiva, Rav Zev Klein, to be our Shliach Tzibur for the completion of learning Shas Bavli, Le'ilui Nishmas, our Rebbe, Rav Moshe Twersky Usher, and saying the Hadran. Rabbi Klein, as many of us know, was very close with Rebbe for many years, and it is therefore particularly fitting that he should lead us in this great moment of bringing Aliyah and Nachas Ruach to Rebbe's Neshama. Rabbi Klein, please.
At least with the Stei Chemed, now I can understand why I can't make the Hadran, since I had a small part to follow the whole project. But it's shterech to be sure. Masechta ends. Han be'Eliyahu v'Hashem Elochos b'chol yoyim muftach lo yishu ben Amram ha v'shnem alichos hayin eloi al tik alichos al halachos. So Mefarshim explained that I wanted to finish the Shas on a good note. So on this member of Chazal, al tik alichos al halachos, I was thinking that when I gave unser Moshe Zev Klein, I think by him you could say unverkehrt, al tikri halachos ela halichos, that not only not only was Torah was his life, was Torah his function the whole day, but kol kulai, not just the halachas, not just the learning, his whole halicha, the whole halicha of the yom yom, even things that weren't, even when he wasn't mismerish learning, which wasn't too often, even whatever he was doing was also halachas. Halachas, el halichas, and now his whole life was one matzah being davik b'Torah, davik b'avayah, davik b'shchina. Al derech zeh, I saw b'shem the worker Rebbe that he said that kol shana halachas b'chol yom. So the mashma is called b'chol yom means every day. He said it also means kol hayom. That besides the hours that a person is sitting and learning, everything else that he does, all the tnuas shayis b'shad b'chol, everything will be Torah. So that, I think, is what we just said. That mamish epitomizes Rav Moshe. There was no such thing as doing things stam. Everything was with a purpose. Everything was Isaac, but everything was a kiyum, was a kiyum of Torah. It wasn't just doing stam. Like I remember when he was sitting shiva for his father. So he said something. He said then that by his father there was nothing trivial. By his father, there was nothing trivial, nothing stam. And I think on him it was, we could say it much more. The word trivial had no meaning by it. It wasn't in his dictionary, in his lexicon, which is very, very big. But this word probably wasn't there. There's perhaps another nakuda over here that I saw b'shem Meir Arik in Tal Torah. He says that the yud, atikri, halichas halachas, he ties that the yud in halichas halachas, he ties together a kriya ksiv in this drasha, a kriya ksiv. He says the yud represents Yerushalayim, because he says the yud is the midas asiris, Yerushalayim. The chilu b'shari, that's why by Ma'aser it says the mantilmud liyira. So he says, so some of the yud is the midah asiris. That represents Yerushalayim. He said that but Yerushalayim is different. Like Gemara says, the Gemara Shabbos he calls pal b'chachma. The Gemara is also lavai. And then afterwards the Gemara says afilachi yirs Chayei Sarah in ilai. If everything is not gebayit, when you're shemayim, all the b'palta b'chachma is worthless. And anybody know the new Rav Moshe, Avad the Yerushalayim, by him was not shayach. Besides all the chumras, like we heard probably more after his tira than we knew about before, and there's probably a lot more that we'll never find out about. Probably his family, even his wife, didn't even know the little she know to figure out. And we found he didn't drink milk for tens of years. And as wife said, it wasn't the nerve, and it wasn't it was all nervous. It was a simcha. It was a year. It was combined with a simcha shidduch that's hard to find. That as that diktuk mitzvahs as Yerushalayim, like, and I think the Ram says in new place, Yerushalayim, Yira is that before you do something, you think about it. Years before. So the him, like I said, anything, such thing is doing something without thought. Like I think one of maybe it was the Rav Moshe email that he told someone, it was in the book, I don't know, that, think twice before you do something. He's telling his Talmidim. By him, he not think twice, but everything was with chishul before. It was with cheshbon with Yerushalayim. There's no such thing as just doing something kacha. Besides the tremendous diktuk and the chumras and everything, but the idea of Yerushalayim is that when you do something, you have to think about it before, and you have to think about the results. You have to think about what you're doing. Soon the make the Hadran will say the Kaddish. So the Kaddish Hagadol, So the Betzim, there's two places, two times when we say this Kaddish. Once by the Kfura, and once by the siyum. So the question is, why not these places? So we can understand, obviously by the Kfura, you want to say Kaddish, talk about Chayei Sarah, shtickle Nichum for Avelim, think about Chayei Sarah. Why by siyum? So I'm not sure if I heard this or heard part of it. I think the idea might be like this. The Gemara says, the Navi tells us, Kital Eretz Halecha. The Chazal tell us, Amr B'Lozer, Ami Oretz, Enum Chayim. Shenema Mesim Bal Yichyu. Hainam Yochi, Mesim Bal Yichyu, Yochol, L'chol Kan Loim Reform, Ba'yikum B'Mar Be'atzma, V'Divrei Torah Kosim B'Daber. Reform Ba'yikum, Amr Oretz, Enum Chayim Mesim. So the Gemara's whole thing, how can you say that? So Mikra Yidarish, the Chsiv Kital Eretz Halecha, Various reform tapil, kol mishtamish bar Torah, or Torah m'chayeyu, kol she'en mishtamish bar Torah, ein or Torah m'chayeyu. So the Gemara tells us that Amar Tzei L'chaim, because Pashat Metzias, like Nebuchadnezzar Amar Zechen Amaretz, but you need the Metzias, the Tal Torah, that's what's m'chaim is, and if you don't have it, you don't have it. So Ken Zayin, that's the pshat, because by siyum, we're going to see Mashas. If any Gemara be in, Kosh going to see Mashas. So the kayach, tremendous kayach of Torah. So tremendous kayach of Torah. And then we mentioned the idea, the Kaddish Hagadol, with the home of the Hadran and Machi Messiah, the Bizdachim B'Shas Siyum, which is tremendous kayach of Torah. We mentioned what is it that the Torah is going to do. It's Hashem. And that should be a tremendous schus for Nifter, and a schus for all of us, that it's not Kasim B'Shas, and then the tremendous kayach. This is the kayach, which is Litzchis, this is the kayach, which is Gabing Chayei Sarah. Along these lines, the Chan in the back of Chayei Sarah, it's the Bir God Chazal, he brings down the Chofetz Chaim, you say over from the Chayei Adam. When the Gemara says, "Hay noshi b'may kazachi," the Gemara says. The Gemara says because they send their husbands to learn, they wait for their kids. So the Chayei said, "What's Gemara's kasha? Hay noshi b'may kazachi?" So he said the kasha is, "Hay noshi b'may kazachi." The Chayei Sarah, based on that Chazal that Amoritz Enum Chayim, because they don't have the Tal Torah. So Meila, how they ever Chayei Sarah? What's their shaykhs to Torah? They're part from Talmud Torah. So that the Gemara answers in schus that they send their husbands to learn. In schus they wait for the children. That's when they have a schus of shaykhs to Torah. So Meila, but that's how the Chayei Sarah. So I think if we're talking about the godless of Rav Moshe, I think it's important also to mention the other half of it, the Rebbetzon's chelik in his godless. This Rebbetzon was Moshe Nefesh. Her whole life was that Moshe should become what he did, and this she got from her mother. That's the Yehoshua Berman. That was her whole life was her husband, and she helped him become what he is, and Rav Zev Twersky as well. Everything she did. What we know, behind the scenes, personally, I had an experience. Others I heard, a lot what I didn't hear, that behind the scenes she was always doing this and that other thing to make sure that her husband's aliyah is not stopped, and he could go weiter and weiter to become what he did. And not just behind the scenes, her whole life, everything she did, her whole existence was to make sure her husband became what he is, what he did. So we should have Bizaycha that the Shema Shas, the nishmas, should be a schus for us, a schus for the nifter, and it's not all the chizukim we heard before, and for everyone on their own personal level, me myself also, there are many things that I was in Kabbalah myself, things I do differently, because they're Moshe, and this should be a shtickle chum also. I know my own personal experience that the only nechama that was when you hear that this one did this and that, this chizuk came out of it, and chizuk min Avayit Hashem and Torah and Yira and Mechaveiroi. When you heard that the people in this chazik calls it ulai, but at least that was a shtickle nechama. I'm sure that's expressing the feeling of the rabbits and the family that when they have this tremendous all the chizukim that we've heard about that have been done, siyum Shas, and such a oifen, by such midah chamim, gewaltige skills and gewaltige chiyas, and that's a shtickle nechama, I think, for the family that we have, something like that, and then it has to go weiter. That's why, it's flying in, you have the papers again, keep it going. There's no reason why just the first year everyone's all rolled up. Something there has to be continuing. It has to be continuation. And I'll buy like that, Chayei Sarah tzedek, and Chayei Sarah. Just the Mishnah, I don't like on just Mishnah, like the Hadran. I don't know Babi, like Hadran on Babi, like the Mishnah, Babi is national. Hadran, Allah. Babi, Hadran, I don't know the way is different to us for the things job. You want to send job. When you're in Shabbat, when they say self, when they say Rahman, self, you leave some Kachal man voice, let alone voice Kapadecha, Kibam Kisani, Lokata, the Nerve Kacha, Amen, Salam, when you're not moving, not having a lane, when saying that your son came from this marriage, and the son came very sure in Christ, one machine, the Torah, a machine run the tail, one way the top sky. Amen. Comes sky. Under us, under us in the kind of love. And Rotten by Shakas. Never after him, Shakas. And she don't mirror, yes, he may have